another hour. But I'm very much excited to be doing this stream. Now, originally I was supposed to be doing a Call of Duty stream, but I changed it because I thought, you know what? I've seen some people do it, and I thought I'm going to... Oh, sorry, I've just knocked my phone over. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do a watch-along of a classic pay-per-view. Well, not classic, but any kind of WWE pay-per-view. An old one, not like one from last year or something like that. You know, an old one. So... oldish one. So I put a post on Facebook on my page saying that I was gonna do this, saying what would you like me to do? Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, any Royal Rumble pay-per-view, any WrestleMania pay-per-view, or any Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which includes any pay-per-views that has an Elimination Chamber match. So like the early Elimination Chamber matches. You know, there was one at SummerSlam. I'm sure there was one at a few No Way Out pay-per-views. I'm sure there was one maybe at Survivor Series one year or something. I might be wrong about that. Probably am wrong about that. But yeah, so it included anything that any pay-per-view that had an Elimination Chamber. So I put up a post on Facebook because I couldn't figure out how to do the polls. And then I put a poll up on Twitter as well and linked the Twitter on the page. And I have the results. So, with a whopping two votes, WrestleMania wins. Now, I've been thinking and about what WrestleMania to do, and I still haven't made a decision. I'm going to wait for a few people to join the chat so that we can get this underway. Nobody's chatted yet. I just want to make sure. So until there's a few people in the chat, I won't get this underway because I want people's opinion as to what WrestleMania I should do. So let me just get true WWE pay-per-views and get to the WrestleMania pay-per-views, and then we can... there it is. No, that's Armageddon. WrestleMania. Right, here we go. So we got all the WrestleManias. Happy 30th birthday, but that's your next birthday, thank you. I'm 29 in an hour. So, you know, fuck you, Josh. So yeah, I've got all the WrestleManias up. I'm going to be doing a WrestleMania watch along. I don't know which one to go for yet. Hi Sarah. I don't know which one to go for. Brahma kind of gave me the idea of maybe doing WrestleMania 17 or 18. I'm trying to remember what years they were in. So that's WrestleMania 23. So yeah, so WrestleMania 18 and 17 and 18 were 2001, 2002. Just playing, buddy. I know you are, John. I know. So WrestleMania 18, of course, has the classic The Rock versus Hulk Hogan match, which is tempting. Obviously, you have Chris Jericho defending the Undisputed Championship against Triple H. So there's that as well. So I'm just waiting for watch WrestleMania 17. I'm tempted with 18 because of The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. I really enjoyed that match. I'm tempted with 18, but I'll get it. I think I'm going to go for 18. I'm going to go for WrestleMania 18. We're going to do a WrestleMania 18 watch-along for the birthday stream. Let me just make sure I've got my headphones, which are over there, because I don't want it to be heard. Hello, Brahma. Brahma, I've made the decision to watch do a WrestleMania 18 watch. Well, yeah, I did take your recommendation. Because you obviously you know what you're talking about really in regards to this kind of thing. But I just went on the WWE Network to set it up, and I was gonna go 17 or 18 because what you suggested was, well, it was a good idea. And then I saw The Rock and Hulk Hogan as WrestleMania 18 as the picture, so I thought, yeah, okay, I've got to do that. I'm going to be watching the entire event, yes, Brahma. That's the whole idea. I might do these a bit more often because I like the idea of doing it. Probably would do a lot more older stuff because I've watched a lot of the recent stuff, so probably like a lot of the like Hulk Hogan era in WWE and stuff like that. I've never watched any of that kind of stuff, so I might go back and start watching some of that stuff, and I'll do like streams of it. Like because I'm not going to promise to do Raw and SmackDown every week. I might do something like that. But we're starting with it today because it's my birthday. But yes, the entire event. I can't remember how long the event actually is. It's nearly 4 hours long. I can see it here, 3 hours 43 minutes. But we will skip through the first part because it's just going to be like the opening package and stuff like that, which we don't want to see. Oh, that's going to be a long night, but I'll be up. I got some work to do at the same time. I have to be up very early for my COVID jab too. Well, as long as you, obviously, Brahma, you don't have to stick with me through the entire event. It will probably go until, because I'll try not to skip much of it. I'll try and watch the majority of it, but I will skip the opening package and stuff like that, so we can get to the first match relatively quickly. So we're probably looking at nearly 3 o'clock when it finishes. Well, WCW pay-per-views are on the network as well, and I've never ever watched WCW, so I am interested to do that as well. I just think it would be a good thing to do, because I'm not promising to do Raw and SmackDown every week. I think it's a good idea to keep my streams consistent and keep the watch-alongs consistent, you know what I mean? Because I'd much rather, instead of forcing myself to do Raw and SmackDown every week, get to maybe a day in the week and think, you know what, I want to do a watch-along. And I'll figure out what I want to do a watch-along of. Coming up in a couple of weeks as well, I've got 11 days off, booked some time off from work, so I'll do a fair amount of watch-alongs during that time as well. I might do a couple of the Raws that are going to be on, but mostly it's going to be like classic watch-alongs. So. Oh, the opening package is often one of the best. Well, I'll watch the opening package then. That's fine. I don't mind what we do. I don't know if anybody's going to be watching this alongside me. But anyway, without further ado, let's get it underway, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Evening, Tom. Hope you're well. Evening, Lynn. Thank you for joining us here for this birthday stream. My birthday officially begins in 50 minutes, so we're definitely still going to be live then, because we're going to be live for a good 4 hours watching this. Well, a good 3 hours 43 minutes anyway, plus a bit of a talk afterwards. So yeah, let's get it underway. So I press play, and okay, so we're getting America the Beautiful to start with, I think. Oh no, it's Saliva performing or something. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. As I said, my birthday's in about 50 minutes. It officially starts, so. Yeah, I'm not going to be watching Saliva. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing it. I have no intentions of watching Saliva. There we go. Right. They finished. Right, so now we're getting the opening package. So I literally, like, WrestleMania 18, like, a lot of the old WrestleManias and a lot of the old pay-per-views, I've watched a lot of them, but I do not remember in the slightest who wins or what happens or anything like that, so it's like I'm watching it for the first time. I have no idea what other matches are on this pay-per-view apart from Chris Jericho, Triple H, and The Rock and Hulk Hogan. So it'll be nice to see what other matches we get to see and who else we get to see. Sure. Good evening, Tom. Best wishes. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for joining us for this birthday stream. We're doing a WrestleMania 18 watch-along. So we're going to be here for nearly 4 hours, so strap yourself in, get comfortable, relax, get your snacks, your drinks, because it's going to be a long night, but it's going to be we're going to be a fun night. But yeah, as I say, these I'm gonna make these a regular thing, and we'll get onto some WCW classic stuff as well, because I've never ever watched WCW. Not once have I ever thought about watching it. I was always a WWE person, and by the time actually I got into wrestling, WCW were at their worst point. They were about to go out of business. So happy days, yes. Well, I hope you can join us for the majority of it, Sean. I understand if you can't. I mean, it is going to be quite a late one by the time it's finished. So. You know what's funny though? So The Rock versus Hogan was a monumentous match and the passing of the torch moment. The Rock then left the WWE as a full timer 2 years later. It just baffles me, and it makes me laugh. Like the Rock gets past this torch to say, right, it's your turn now. You know, these are your days, and then he leaves 2 years later as a full timer. Here we go. The opening package is over. They're now just showing the WrestleMania 18 sign. So let's see what match we're kicking off with. Oh, see, I love the older WrestleMania stages. Like, a lot of them these days are very similar. But I love some of the older ones. Like, they're not as glamorous as some of the ones today, but they're some of them are a lot better. The Rock, yeah. Didn't he pass the baton onto Lesnar when he lost to him for the? Well, yeah, he did. But usually, when somebody passes a torch to you, you've got it for the next 10 years or so, and you take the WWE, or you take whatever the sport it is into the new era, and you're the new best person. But he leaves 2 years later. Yes, he did pass the torch on before leaving, which was good. But then he passed it on to Brock, and Brock left a year later. So it just. And Brock didn't pass the torch. I think he lost to Goldberg in one of his last matches. In his last match. So we're starting off with RVD. I don't know what match it is we're starting off. Yeah, Lesnar is only... Lynn says, hi, Captain. Sean Lesnar. Sean Lyons says, Lesnar... Oh, it's an Intercontinental Championship match we're kicking off with. Lesnar only stayed for 2 years. He did originally, and then obviously he came back then in 2012 and has been with WWE ever since, even though he's hardly ever been seen. So we're starting off with an Intercontinental Championship match. RVD going for the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, the video package, the whole referring to Hogan as wrestling's past and Rock as wrestling future was a bit silly at that point in time. The Rock was hardly an up-and-coming star, having already headlined few WrestleManias and pay-per-views, and being a multiple WWE champion. He's already an established superstar and didn't really need the torch to be passed on to him. And you said he left shortly within a year or two. Exactly, so it didn't make much sense in my opinion. The Rock versus John Cena thing made sense because John Cena stayed for years and years after he beat The Rock the second time. So I think it's RVD versus William Regal, because here comes William Regal with the championship. So let me get that on the on here. Oops. Oh no, hang on, I did have it right. Oh, fuck off. Right. We've got it set up now. William Regal versus... Sorry, RVD versus William Regal. Damn. Oh, what a kick. Oh, he's going for the Fox Splash already. Hang on a minute. Can't... John Cena was an upcoming star too. He was already headline. It would be nice, of course, to be a nice legend versus legend match of sorts, even if Cena wasn't a passing of the torch, but more acknowledging Cena as a legit superstar legend. I mean, you're right there, yeah. A passing of the torch match, for example, would be, for example, be Ray or Drew losing to Dominic, or when Taker lost to Reigns, but at that point, Reigns had already main evented 2 WrestleManias, I think. Yeah, he had, yeah. Oh, crossbody, 1, 2. William Regal kicks out. Oh, backslide, 1, 2. William Regal kicks out again. Oh, and drops RVD. What a move. And the punches. The Epic Muffin. Happy birthday. Thank you, the Epic Muffin. Much appreciated. We're doing a WrestleMania 18 watch along. We've just started. It's just started. We're in the first match. It's RVD versus William Regal Intercontinental Championship. Oh, back body drop from RVD and now the kicks. RVD's been in control for most of this match. Oh, what a net breaker. That was a nasty landing as well. 1, 2. Oh. William Regal. RVD kicked out. RVD was always really good at selling stuff. Like, his sells made it look like he legitimately got hurt, you know what I mean? Regal's mouth is busted. What a super kick. Oh, going for the Rolling Thunder. And Regal got the knees up. So I hope everyone's doing well today. I was quite excited to do this once I'd made the decision that I was going to be doing this. Oh, roll up, kick out 2 from RVD. And I said this is going to be more of a regular thing, me watching classic stuff, because it'll give me a reason to go back and watch the classic stuff. So really for there be a passing of torch, it has to be a rising star left the company. Of course, Edge was to put over someone before he retires, maybe like Keith Lee or Ricochet or maybe Jeff Hardy, to someone younger. But WWE have really struggled with storytelling. Bet you didn't look up Dirty Sanchez on last night's Talk Football. Is the biggest sport in the world with 4 billion supporters. Looked it up today. It's the biggest sport in the world. Right, okay. No, I haven't looked up Dirty Sanchez. I keep forgetting, Sean. But I will look it up. I'm interested to see it. I just forgot. I played quite a few video games today, and time just got away with me, and then I was, posting about what I was gonna do on the stream tonight, and so I just, forgot. But I will definitely look it up. Oh, what a move. Van Dam landed on the back of his neck. And RVD's mouth is a bit busted up as well. Also, Tom, I know you've taken a backseat from AEW, but surely you must join us for the next AEW pay-per-view, as it will feature Sting fighting for the first time since 2005, even if it's a cinematic match. It's not anything, Barama. He just wants me to look up the old MTV show. I just haven't done it yet. I will probably join you for that pay-per-view, seeing as Sting is fighting. When is it, Brahma? Let me know when it is, and I will do a stream for it. William Regal's just picked up the brass knucks that were outside, but the referee sees it. Frog Splash, the 5-star Frog Splash, is it going to be it? Mark Yardley says a good passing of the torch match would be Lesnar versus Keith Lee. And RVD wins the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, that would be a good match, actually. Sting is in a street fight with Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Oh, is it? Right. All right. I'd be interested to watch that. I'll definitely consider doing the watch along for that pay per view then. But yes, we have a new Intercontinental. Well, RVD becomes the Intercontinental Champion in the opening match of this WrestleMania 18. So, what match do we have next? It was a decent match. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting, but it was the opening match. I mean, I know there's a lot more exciting matches to come up. So, Lesnar will never agree to put in Keith Lee over. I'm 90%. Why wouldn't he? Explain why you don't think he would. Because I think he would. I mean, I don't think Lesnar will ever put anybody over in his last match. I think he'll want to win his last match. Christian backstage. Christian backstage. And AEW should be getting Redbeard soon to join Dark Order. I hope so. So I think the next match we're getting is Christian versus DDP. Lesnar would never do that with Keith Lee. Never. Plus, doesn't Lesnar have beef with Riddle in real life? Well, yeah. No, that's Goldberg that has beef with Riddle. Plus, I think Brock also said he would never face Riddle. But I don't think there's any beef with him and Keith Lee. So I don't understand why he wouldn't put over Keith Lee. I don't understand the assumptions here. So is it DDP versus Christian we're getting next, or was that just a promo for the match later on in the night? Oh, it is Christian versus DDP next. Here comes Christian. So let me just change this. Let me just read this first. So who could have avenged or had a win against him like Goldberg, Taker, Cena or Triple H? I don't think he would be enticed by the prospect of putting Keith Lee, and indeed WWE and Vince seem to have gone a bit cold on Keith Lee. Personally, I'm also not a huge fan of Keith Lee. His moveset is limited, he's terrible on the mic, has no charisma or presence, and unlike other big guys, lacks the intimidation factor. Well, yeah, as Mark says here, if not mistaken, Paul Heyman is big on Keith Lee, so it could happen, yeah. He took out Lee at the Royal Rumble, and Strowman can't see him passing the baton on to Lee. I don't know, but I think it could happen. Right, let me just sort this out. Let me just sort this out. It's me, it's DDP. Oops. No, because Paul Heyman would just go back to Reigns, not Lee. Yeah, but if he's big on Keith Lee, if he thinks that Keith Lee is decent, then why couldn't it happen? He could talk Brock Lesnar into it. Brock Lesnar and him have been friends for nearly 20 years. So, alright, so the match has started, and Christian with the punches to DDP. Oh, and now DDP returning the punches. Irish whip from Christian, went for the clothesline, DDP ducks, and now more punches. Oh, what a gutbuster. Oh, clothesline over the top rope, and DDP goes over the top rope with him. Hang on a minute. Riddle vs Goldberg or Lesnar would be a complete mismatch in so many ways. Riddle is another one I'm not keen on, and I don't ever see being a main event guy. A Big Show vs Braun Strowman match could work. Big E beating Lesnar would work better than yeah, I can kind of see. I'm not saying Heyman will be Lee's advocate, but he does have pull backstage, so he could set the match up. Yeah, exactly. Plus, he's been like Brock Lesnar's best friend for like nearly 20 years, so I'm sure he could talk Brock Lesnar into it. It wouldn't take much. Alison is back. What did she say? You don't have to tell everyone. What you mean about my birthday? Well, it's a birthday stream, so what else do you want me to put? Can we please block Alison? Because she did my heading yesterday, she's doing my heading already today, and she's only posted one message. Can we please get rid of her? I don't understand how she's not been got rid of yet. I can't do it my side, so... I'm not blaming the mods. Obviously, there's some sort of error on Facebook, but there must be something we can do. Head doer. Oh, well. Anyway, let's get back into this match. Christian is taking over. They're both on the outside at the moment. This is for the European Championship. Oof. Punch to the midsection for DDP. DDP trying to get back into it. But they need the midsection of DDP. And now the abdominal stretch. Let me just have a look at something. Editor. I just want to have a look at this. I'm gonna do that. Save. See if that helps. Just trying to sort out my my chat box to see if I can make the writing a bit smaller. The only way I can think of doing it is to zoom it out. So we'll see if it's made, yes, it has made a difference. That's good. Why is the block feature not working? Well, Lesnar did put Drew over, so if the talent is there, then who knows who he could put over next. Exactly. What did you mean then, Alison? Is the block... why is the block feature not working? I don't know, Brahma. I don't have the... I wish I had, like, an iPad or something like that I could have in front of me to be able to get on Facebook so I could do the blocking and stuff like that. Because I'm not saying that the mods aren't doing a good job, because there's obviously an error going on with Facebook, but I'd like to just look at it myself. Yeah, but Lesnar was already leaving WWE. Don't think it was to put Drew over. No, he wasn't leaving WWE. He's not left WWE. He's still part of WWE. He was just going to take a break. But it did have a reason, because Lesnar didn't want to stay around. He wanted to break. So actually, you're probably right, Sean. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking shit, really. True, but Lesnar is still a bell end, so he could have just said no. Well, this is true. He is a bell end, but if he was going to be taking a break, he can't have the championship for a whole year while he's taking a break, because he's only been gone a year now, so he can't just hold the championship for that long, especially a main one. So I think the only reason he put him over is because he wanted a break. I think if he was going to stick around, he might not have put Drew over. But then Lesnar chooses who he wants to put over and who he doesn't. Oh, inside cradle. Oh, Christian kicks out at 2. This is a pretty decent match. Better than the last one. And it's lasted longer as well. DDP ducks. Oh, the diamond cutter. Is that it? 1, 2, 3. And DDP retains the European Championship. Lesnar, the most undeserving superstar of all time. Is that what you think, Brahma? I've heard that Lesnar isn't signed with WWE now, and there was rumours that he's AEW's got no interest in him, and he is still signed to WWE. Lesnar is out of contract at the moment. Yeah, but he is going to re-sign with WWE. There's no doubt about that. I don't even know if he has re-signed, actually. But AEW have got no interest. But he's never going to AEW. No, he will re-sign with WWE when he's ready to come back. Christian having a temper tantrum. I mean, it depends unless Tony Khan offers a huge... Yeah, but they've got no interest. AEW have no interest in signing Lesnar. They don't have an interest in signing somebody who's not going to be... Who's not going to want to compete on a regular basis or show up on a regular basis. I mean, they signed Sting because Sting will appear nearly every week and he'll compete. Not on a regular occasion, because he is in his 60s now, but he will compete. But even though he's not competing, he will still show up every week. And here's The Rock backstage with Cole, not Cole. What the hell's his name? Jonathan Coachman. What's all the talk that Lesnar's son is joining? I've heard the guy that looks like the younger Lesnar isn't even a relation. Can think of his name. Born Heyman said he was joining soon. Why would they want him? They've got plenty of talented superstars who deserve their time in the spotlight. Yeah, exactly. AEW have got a lot of stars who WWE never thought could be a big star. Like, look at Brody Lee, for instance, the late great Brody Lee. He was fantastic in AEW, and definitely if he had lived longer, he'd have been a future AEW world champion. And AEW saw him as a big star that WWE should have saw him as. Look at Cody Rhodes, one of the biggest stars in AEW, obviously because he is one of the presidents of AEW, but he's still like treated as a big star that WWE never treated him as. Look at Dustin Rhodes, still is treated like a big star that WWE never treated him as. They always treated him as this comedy act, like because of gold. He was Gold Dust. So yeah. The Rock's well funny. I'll look it up. Parker Boudreaux is the new Lesnar. Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard something about that. Alright, Sean. Parker. Yeah, that's what Mark just said, Parker. Yeah, I've seen a picture of him. He does look like a younger Lesnar. He looks like a fucking beast. Looks a spitting image of a younger Lesnar, yeah. Oh, I loved Rock back in the day. He's still funny in this in you know in today's WWE, but he's not been around for a little while. I've heard he's linked with Paul Heyman. Well, he probably is. Paul Heyman is all about bringing in these unknown guys, isn't he? I mean, look at CM Punk. He wasn't a well-known guy when Paul Heyman brought him in. Paul Heyman had a lot of trust in CM Punk, and look what happened. CM Punk became one of the greatest of all time. And CM Punk turned into the most popular superstar of all time. I mean, even The Rock didn't have his chance for years and years after he left, but CM Punk did. CM Punk had cheers all the way up until the crowd, until they weren't allowed a crowd. And I think he completely deserves that. I've always liked CM Punk, inside the ring. I honestly think, like a lot of people in the past, a lot of past people have said like they're the greatest of all time or the best in the world, but I actually thought that CM Punk was the best in the world, and when he called himself the best in the world, I didn't hate him for it because I thought, you know what, you're actually telling the truth. Um, did you see the new footage of the Godzilla versus Kong today? The third trailer? No, I haven't. I'm talking to Goldust. Goldust is coming out next. Who is it? Goldust versus who? I mean, I'm not saying Goldust wasn't an entertaining character, but how talented Dustin Rhodes is and was, he should have been taken a lot more seriously. I think this next match for the Hardcore Championship. CM Punk didn't do well. No, he didn't. He was. I don't think he's built to be a UFC fighter, but in the WWE, my opinion, definitely one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, in his time. Maven is here. Maven, the Hardcore Champion. I remember Maven. He was treated as a big deal, like a huge prospect. In fact, he even eliminated the Undertaker in one of the Royal Rumbles. But he never really got much further, did he? Dustin Rhodes is better in AEW. He's given exactly. His brother is one of the presidents of AEW, so of course he's going to be given more freedom. Anyway, let me just. Okay, I had the mic muted. What an idiot. Can you hear me now? Right, how's that? I had my mic muted. Yes? Please tell me yes, because I don't know what to do if it's not. Hello, hello. We have sound. Good. Sorry about that. I'd muted my mic somehow. I don't even know how I did it. So we've got more music on at the moment. They're telling the story of the co-main event, I would imagine. Triple H versus Chris Jericho Undisputed Championship. Of course, Stephanie McMahon in the corner of Chris Jericho. This is when Stephanie McMahon was all against Triple H, even though they were together in real life. So yeah. Mark says he's an extremely safe worker, which is pure... yes, exactly. Exactly. Dustin is a very safe worker, so... I think the banning function is working now unless people reappear, but I think it's possibly someone is creating multiple accounts to troll us if true. Which, if true, is really quite... Yeah, but... the thing is with that Alison Princess person, it was the exact same name as the person that was apparently blocked, so I don't understand how that would work unless it looks like the exact same name, but there's a slight difference. But like, ever since I've started streaming on Facebook and stuff, I've never had really any trolls or anything like that. I've had a few on YouTube. I mean, I've been on YouTube for about 5 years now, so of course I'm going to have fucking trolls. But on Facebook, I haven't had many at all. And in the last couple of streams, last 3 streams actually, including this one, I've had loads. I say loads, more than I'm used to anyway. Anyway, the Maven Goldust match kind of just ended abruptly because Spike Dudley got involved, became the new hardcore champion, so... So I hope you're all doing well anyway. Hope you're enjoying this classic watch along. We've got... You might as well sit and get comfortable. We're not even at the hour mark yet, and it's a 3 hour 43 minute pay-per-view. So you might as well get comfortable. And in 8 minutes, it's my birthday. That's when my birthday officially starts. Oh, and Crash Holly and, rest in peace, Crash Holly. He's now fighting with Dudley backstage for this championship. Oh my god, here comes Al Snow. And this is a much better version of what we have today with the 24/7 championship. Like, they actually have proper fights, whereas with the 24/7 championship, it's like just a roll up and that's it. Oh, the Hurricane! What a kick! 1, 2, 3. The Hurricane's the new hardcore champion. We've literally just seen this. You don't need to show us again. Right, our next match is Kurt Angle versus... Oh, Kurt Angle with hair, God. So who's Kurt Angle going to be facing? It's going to be a good match whoever he's facing, because Kurt Angle is very talented. Right, this isn't for the title, this is just a normal one-on-one match. Is anybody still there? Because the chat's gone really quiet. I'm off to bed now, mate. Have a good birthday. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. I'll see you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. I don't know why I said that, but I might speak to you tomorrow. Kurt Angle with the mic. What's he gonna say? Oh, it's Kane versus Kurt Angle. I don't think I've ever seen this match. So, this will be good. Prime Kane was just the best. And scary. I remember being scared of Kane. So how is everybody doing? Chat has gone quite quiet. I'm not going to keep saying that because I hate it when streamers say that, but that'll be the last time. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying this stream. It's been a good pay-per-view so far. I'm really enjoying it. And we have a match between two of the greats, Kane and Kurt Angle. Still here. Hi, Brahma. Oof. Some good punches from Kane, but a duck from Kurt Angle and a great German suplex. Oof. I like a lot of Kane's matches and I like a lot of Kurt Angle's matches. Kurt Angle's very technical. And Kane is just the opposite, you know. I mean, he's great in the ring, but he's more about power and everything like that. And it should be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Kane saying, bring it on. Blocks a punch and now brings in some of his own punches. Oh, what a punch. Just have a look at the events list. Okay, nothing else yet. Oh my god, Kane with the power. Double-handed choke and then slams Kurt Angle down. Kurt Angle looking dazed. Kane trying to intimidate the ref. Oh, what a punch, and Kurt Angle goes down. Oh, belly to belly from Kurt Angle. It's been good so far, this match. Pay-per-view's been good so far, to be honest. And we're officially into my birthday, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12:01 my time, and it's officially my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But we're just short of an hour now into this pay-per-view. Kurt Angle pressing on the back of Kane's neck, pushing the throat into the second rope there. Back and forth this match at the moment. Oh! Back suplex from Kurt Angle, the power of Kurt Angle. 1, 2, Kane kicks out. Look at this. Here comes the technical side of Kurt Angle. Oh my. Oh. Kane powers out. And face first goes Kurt Angle into the mat. Oh, what a side slam. Ow. Kurt Angle with the reversal into the German suplex. Had a bit of cramp in my hand then. After holding the glass. That was... Oh! Kane only just kicked out there, and I thought that'd have been a weird way to end the match. Kurt Angle up to the top rope. What's he thinking? The diving clothesline, taking Kane's move. Going for it again, I think. Oh! Well, Kane reversed it this time with a punch. This match has been good so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the pay-per-view, to be honest. I hope some of you will stick with me until the end of the pay-per-view. I know it's a long old time, but... Oh, Kurt Angle just kicks out. But it'll be worth it, you know. It's a very good pay-per-view, this. And as I said, this is going to be starting to be a regular thing, me doing some classic pay-per-view watch-alongs and stuff like that. Oh! Oh, what a chokeslam. Okay, 1, 2... Oh! Kurt Angle got his arm on the rope. I thought that was it. I think Kane's looking for the tombstone. No, but Kurt Angle reverses it. Angle slam. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he kicks out. Kane just kicks out of the angle slam. Kurt Angle, took advantage by trying to take the mask off of Kane. And he's going for the ankle lock now. He's got the ankle lock in. Kane fights out of it. But Kurt Angle's got it locked in again. Kane just hit Kurt Angle with an insecurity, and seeing a big man like that hitting an insecurity, it looks a bit weird, I have to say. Kane going up to the top rope, looking for his diving clothesline, I think. But Kane obviously has a bit of an injured foot from the ankle lock. Kurt quickly up to the top rope, brings Kane down. They're both down now. Angle wants the angle slam again. Okay. Angle had his feet on the rope and he nicked the victory there. The Epic Muffin, what's your Twitch? My Twitch is the exact same name as my Facebook and my YouTube. Tom Burns with a Z, but I never stream on Twitch. Epic Muffin. I mean, I might start. I could, but I never usually do. It's Facebook and YouTube mainly for me. But Kurt Angle. Oh, okay. As I said, I might, but Kurt Angle wins, but the new hardcore champion, Hurricane, is keeping an eye out, looking round. And the ladies now are backstage. Don't recognise any of them. the Godfather. You can call me Muffin. Okay, Muffin. I'll call you Muffin. It's a pretty cool name. Okay, so we've got Undertaker versus Ric Flair next. No disqualification. This will be a good match. I've actually never seen this match. I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen the full match. We know who wins. Obviously, the streak, but it was a match. So just watching the package of Ric Flair and Undertaker. The storytelling used to be so much better back in the day. You know what I mean? This is a long package. But as I said, the storytelling was a lot better back in the day, so they have to have a long package to tell the story. And this will be a very good match. Two of the greatest of all time in the ring together. As I said, I've never seen the full match, but do you have a favourite video game? Well, my favourite video game of all time is Metal Gear Solid 3. Without a shadow of a doubt. What about you, Muffin? Let's get hyped up. Let's get this stream hyped up. It's a birthday stream. It's gone very quiet. It's gone very yeah, very quiet, and it's a birthday stream. It's an epic. It's got to be an epic stream. It's officially my birthday now. Let's get going. Let's get this hyped up. We're watching WrestleMania 18, one of the greatest WrestleManias in my opinion. So yeah, let's get it hyped up. Let's get the chat going. Let's get some conversation. That's, you know, supposed to be an epic birthday stream. How is your B-day so far? Well, it's only 15 minutes in, and it's good. You know, I'm enjoying this pay-per-view, so. The match kicks off straight away. My birthday isn't until October. Alright. Well, I'm 29 today. 1 year closer to the big 3-0. Oh my. Over the announce there with a go. Ric Flair taking it to the Undertaker. Sorry, Tom, having some technical difficulties on my. No worry, Brahma. You try and sort them out. It's if you can. It's not. Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you, Brahma. It's not a problem if you're having technical difficulties. It is what it is. What do you watch me on, by the way, Brahma? Just out of curiosity, is it your phone you watch me on? Consider yourself lucky you're not experiencing any hair loss from thinning. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to have that kind of problem. I mean, look at the amount of hair I've got. My hair is really thick as well. And my mum said, I don't know my real dad, but my mum said that my real dad had really thick hair as well. And she found him on Facebook recently and said that his hair's still really thick. So I'm assuming that my hair thinning and baldness and stuff is never going to come to fruition until I'm really old anyway. Favourite wrestler? At the moment on the laptop. Oh, right, okay. What you having technical difficulties on, your laptop or your phone? Have you gone over to your laptop because it was your phone you're having technical difficulties on? Favourite wrestler? My favourite wrestler... my favourite wrestler of all time has to be CM Punk, but it's close between CM Punk and The Rock. But close between CM Punk, The Rock and Undertaker, let's put it that way, but CM Punk definitely. What about you, Muffin? Who's your favourite wrestler? Well, I thought I'd get away with it as everyone's on my mum's side isn't bold, on my dad's side there's boldness. Oh, so you've gone bold, have you, Brahma? That's unfortunate. Give me a sec. Oh, you're not bold. Oh, when you said, well, I thought I'd get away with it, I thought you meant you'd gone bold. Probably Undertaker or Roman Reigns, or however you spell his last name. That's correct. You spelled the last name right. I've been using some stuff in my recently to make you start using something my medical to prevent and reverse hair loss. Oh, right. Fair enough. Undertaker's... Oh my god, that's a hell of a gash to his cheek. Undertaker's cheek is busted open. getting beaten up now by Undertaker. Undertaker's taken full control here. I used to use a lot of hair gel back in the day. I had spikier hair than Aguero, but these days I don't touch the stuff, just style it to make it stand up more, etc. Alright, okay. Oh, and Flair's now busted open as well. I know this match ends up really bloody, and the clips I've seen of it, I know it ends up bloody. Obviously, I'm not sure you know how this match ended. I know, obviously, that Undertaker wins because of the streak. But I'm not sure of the ending, you know what I mean? Nice to watch Undertaker, some Undertaker matches where he's in his prime. You know what I mean? Where he could do pretty much anything. Because I've not watched a lot of like classic WWE for a few years now. So all the Undertaker matches I've seen have all been like recent ones. Obviously his Boneyard match was great, but the last few years his matches have just not been fantastic. So it's nice to actually watch a Flair and Taker, Rock and Hogan, Austin and Scott Hall. What is your dream job? Goldberg and Triple H. Hang on a minute. I didn't see what your other message was there, Bram. Sting and Triple H much further down the line. Yeah. What is your dream job? My dream job would actually be to be a wrestler. That would be my dream job. I've always kind of thought about it and thought about training to maybe do maybe just some local stuff. And, you know, I've never even thought about being in the WWE, but like local stuff. But it never really came to fruition because I've never been able to be consistent with my exercise and the training and stuff like that. And yeah. I mean, you still could, if you wanted, if you did something like MMA or maybe judo. I do judo and play American football. I mean, yeah, I could. I'm only 29, so yeah, I could get into training now, so that I've got a good 10, 15 years to be able to, you know, to really do wrestling properly or something like that. But superplex, Ric Flair is screaming out in pain. 1, 2. But yeah, no, I could do it. I mean, John, who joins me on the streams sometimes, like, you know, who I speak to on streams sometime. I know him in real life. He's a good mate, and he has actually been a wrestler, like in local stuff, and obviously because of COVID and everything like that and lockdown, he's not been able to go to wrestling training. Just before lockdown, I was supposed to start going along to wrestling training with him. So I have that opening there. Where he does his training for wrestling. The guy he wrestles for, you know, he said I'm more than welcome to go along and stuff like that. So, yeah. Obviously, you might not make it to WWE or AEW, but if you're happy doing local stuff, that's still good. I mean, to be honest, if I wanted to make it in AEW or WWE, I'd have had to start training a lot earlier. I think it's too late for me to get into WWE or AEW now. I mean, I might have a natural talent and I might just shoot up there, but I'm happy to just do local stuff because I'm passionate about the wrestling business, as you can clearly see me doing wrestling watch-alongs and talking about wrestling constantly, and I've watched WWE for most of my life, so yeah. If we had more wrestling schools around, that would be great for good. Would be great, good for health and fitness. Exactly, yeah, it would be. I was watching a documentary about the WWE Fitness Centre. Is it really intense? I bet it is, actually, There's so many ways to get involved, of course. Yeah, there is, yeah. Oh, Ric Flair rolls out the way of the elbow. Portland Centre, I mean, but yeah, very intense. Yeah, but it is intense. Is John? No, he's not in the chat at the moment. He's got work in the morning, so he was to start with. He just said happy birthday, and then he kind of went. But he's got work in the morning, so he'll be in bed now. I remember at the Manchester Apollo they used to do a lot of local wrestling shows. Yeah, he'll have gone to bed now. And Undertaker up on the top rope, going old school. Oh, Ric Flair pulls the Undertaker off the top rope though, and trying to get back into this. He's lost a lot of blood. I remember. Oh right, yeah, I've read that. And oh, the chop from Ric Flair, and another chop. And but Undertaker catches him into the side slam, and Ric Flair goes down again. 1, 2. Oh, Ric Flair kicks out. What's your thoughts on this fight right now? What, Undertaker versus Ric Flair? I'm loving it. I love a lot of Undertaker's matches. And to be honest, because I've never really watched a lot of old WCW or WWE, I've never really seen many of Ric Flair's matches. But I am going to start watching a lot of classic, like proper classic WWE, and I'm going to start watching some WCW pay-per-views as well. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. It's really good. Undertaker busted open now. Flair's got the lead pipe from Undertaker's bike, and Undertaker just got hit over the head with it. Undertaker's busted open now. What, apart from HBK, which is really obvious, what is your favourite Undertaker's WrestleMania match apart from HBK's, because that's too much of an obvious choice? I've seen a lot of them, and I would say this is one of my favourites. Undertaker just got hit over the head with a sign, and again, and again, and again to the spine. Taker versus Edge versus WrestleMania 24. Taker versus Batista at WrestleMania 23. Taker versus Kane at WrestleMania 20. So they're your three favourites, are they, Brahma? They're good matches, they are. Oh, Undertaker. Is he going for the choke slam? He's got his hand around the throat. Oh, the low blow. It's no disqualification. There we go. Flair going for the figure four. The figure four. We know Undertaker's not going to tap out because we know the streak doesn't end right now. Undertaker screaming in pain. Undertaker gets out of it by putting his hand around the throat. Is it going to be a choke slam? What a choke slam. I was going to say it right now. I think my next classic pay-per-view watch-along will be WrestleMania 17. The other choice of what I was thinking about tonight. Don't know when that will be. I'm not going to do a stream tomorrow because it's my... Well, technically today now because it's my birthday. But might do it on Thursday. Thursday night. 1, 2... Oh, it's a kick out. Undertaker just attacked the ref. Now Undertaker has the lead pipe. And Anderson with the spine buster. 1, 2. Oh, Undertaker kicks out. And Anderson busted open. What a leg drop. Sorry, big boot from Undertaker. Chair shots on Ric Flair, but Undertaker comes straight back with a big boot. We are nearly at the hour and a half mark. We've got just over 2 hours left of this pay-per-view. Oh! Last ride. Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Is he going to get tombstoned? A tombstone. 1, 2, 3. It's over. The Undertaker wins. What a match that was. I really enjoyed that. What would you rate this match? What would I rate the match? It states out of 5. A good 4 out of 5. Definitely. Booker T's backstage. Booker T versus Edge we're getting tonight as well. That'll be a good match. Think I'm gonna head to bed. Fun talking to you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thanks, Muffin. You're more than welcome to join me for the next stream. As I said, it's probably going to be Thursday. WrestleMania 17 watch along. But thank you for joining me, Muffin, and speak to you soon. So we're getting Ed versus Booker T next. Yep, we're getting Ed versus Booker T next. Come on. There we go. Ba-da-ba-da. This should be a good match. I highly rate both of these. I think they're both good in the ring. I mean, think about it. Edge here performing at WrestleMania 18. Just less than 20 years later, he's going to be main eventing WrestleMania 37. I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it? He's getting a big ovation here. Obviously, he's from Toronto, Canada, and this WrestleMania is in Toronto, Canada. Brahma, have your technical difficulties sorted themselves out yet? I mean, we could look at it in various ways with regards to Edge. It's a good thing that he shows he has had longevity to his career. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, longevity. That's how you pronounce it, not longevity. Longevity. Booker T with the headlock. Oh, and a shoulder barge. Edge is down. Oh, Edge jumps over Booker. What a drop kick. Booker's now down. In another sense, it seems bad as having someone on the older side main eventing perhaps shows there isn't much faith in you. I don't think it's that. I think the fans want this story, fairy tale story of Edge. Edge being told that he could never return to WWE, he had to retire because of a serious neck injury. Told that if he took one more bump, he could end up paralysed. He then came back 10 years later. 9 years later, beating all the odds and won the Royal Rumble from number one, and wants to win the championship back that he never lost, exactly to the day 10 years after he had to retire. I mean, I think we all want that. I mean, imagine if the main event was Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. I mean, that would be awful. I don't think Edge needs to win the title for it to be a fairy tale. I think he does. I mean, what would that if he didn't win the championship, it wouldn't be a fairy tale ending. Like, that's just my opinion. I don't want to see Roman winning at WrestleMania. I don't want his reign to continue. He bores me enough as it is. So I just think he needs to lose the championship and maybe have a character change, because he's just so boring. And imagine what a sour taste that would leave on the end of WrestleMania if Edge was to lose after everything he's done to come back and to win the Rumble from one. And it would leave such a sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths if he loses that main event. I would like Roman winning if, like I said yesterday, the two men put on a legendary match and Reigns turned face. Yes. If Reigns was to turn face during that match, then maybe I would like to see Reigns win, but I don't see that happening. He's too big of a heel, I think, for him to be able to just turn face like that. I think Edge needs to have one more championship run, and he needs to have a championship run, because he never lost a championship when he was active before he had to retire, didn't he? So, but if it was a case of both men giving up some end-to-end stuff and a clean win, then it wouldn't feel... I think it still would, because people hate Roman that much at the moment, because one, he's boring, and two, he's a heel. I think there would be a sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths if Edge loses. Everybody wants... Well, a lot of people want Edge to win anyway. There is some people that aren't fans of Edge, and that's fine, but a lot of people want Edge to win, especially now that he's going to be facing Roman. If he was facing perhaps Drew at WrestleMania, I think perhaps then it would be a different story. You know, face versus face, that kind of thing. But no, I think most people want Roman to lose. I'm not the only one that thinks Roman is really boring. But my point is, this is how WWE gets people to like Reigns. Maybe. Oh. Booker T went for the scissors kick, but missed. Edge. Whoa. Oh, Edge nearly got the 3. Edge going up to the top turnbuckle. But that's just me. I'm looking at it through The Rock versus Hogan rose tinted class. Well, fair enough. Oh, what a diving kick from the top rope. 1, 2. Booker T kicks out. On me. Oh, what a reversal from Booker T. Roll up. No. Edge. Oh, what a slingshot. Into the turnbuckle goes Booker T. And now Edge wants to spear. Oh, but Booker T jumps over it. Edge goes face first into the second turnbuckle. And then a kick from Booker T, and Edge goes down. Oh, and Booker T going for the spinneroonie. Oh, and the scissors kick. Is Booker T gonna win? 1, 2. Oh, Edge just kicks out. Oh. Oh, what a spear. 1, 2. Oh, but Booker T kicks out. This is a good match as well. As I say, I highly rate these two in the ring anyway, so I thought it'd be a good match. Oh. Execution. No. Whoa. No. Oh. Execution. Is it over? 1, 2, 3. It is over. So we're what are we at now? An hour and 40 minutes. So we've got just about 2 hours left. What a match that was. And Hurricane, we can see him backstage again. Manny Molly's just betrayed Hurricane for the Hardcore Championship. Stone Cold versus Scott Hall next. This'll be. I like Scott Hall and I like Stone Cold, so this'll be a decent match. Yeah, looking forward to this match. This'll be good. Like I said, maybe I'm expecting too much from WWE and or maybe I'm out of touch with everyone else, but that's how I'd script Roman versus Edge. A Legend of Today versus the Return of Legend. Spear versus Spear, end to end stuff. Main event. Each man to see who comes out on top in process. Reigns turns face and wins over the crowd. Ultimately Edge. Ultimately beats Edge, but at the end both men shake hands and embrace, and Edge takes the belt at WrestleMania maybe for the last time. But if Edge didn't win the belt at WrestleMania, that's not saying he wouldn't win the title at some point before retiring. He's not going to take a bout at WrestleMania for the last time. He's just signed a contract for 5 years in WWE, appearing for I think 5 or 6 matches a year. So he's not going to bow out at WrestleMania for the last time. He's going to be around for 5 years. but if Roman was going to put over Drew, I can't see why he'd do so for Edge. I think he would put over Edge. I mean, he's the face of WWE, isn't he? He's good friends with Vince McMahon. He'll do whatever Vince McMahon asks him to do. But yeah, Edge has just signed a contract. When he came back, his contract was for 5 years. So this is his second year, so he's going to be around for at least another 3 years. So he's not going to bow out at WrestleMania for the last time, is he? Sure, but the contract doesn't necessarily mean he will be at WrestleMania every year. And of course, we are assuming his health. Well, I think he's in good health, and you're not gonna not have Edge at WrestleMania every year of his contract, because he'll want to be at WrestleMania every year, and it's Edge, one of the greatest of all time. You're not gonna have him at WrestleMania. He's in pretty good health at the moment. I think with him only doing 5 or 6 matches a year, I don't think he won't be able to see out that contract, and I don't think he'll sign a new one after that. I think that will be the end of Edge after that contract. But the contract could entail other commitments. I'm sure they've stipulated for the scenario should be he been. Well, yeah, but the contract is not going to say, oh, you can only appear at WrestleMania once. You know what I mean? He will be at WrestleMania every year. Edge is too big of a superstar to keep off of WrestleMania, unless obviously he's injured. So Kevin Nash at the ringside with Scott Hall. Stone Cold stomping a mud hole in Scott Hall. Oh, what a chop. Oh, and another one. And another one. And another one. But Scott Hall trying to take over with the punches. But then by what you're saying, even if he didn't win against Reigns, there will still be another chance. As I said, I'm just thinking they built up Roman to be the dominant face and heel. He just recently put away Drew quite cleanly, who is the only other dominant star at the moment. So it just doesn't make sense for Edge to beat him. But you never know. I probably might be wrong. And also in the end, Ric Flair said the baby wasn't his, so I was wrong. And when I said it was a Lacey and Ric Flair baby, no, well, I already knew that Lacey was was pregnant in real life, with her husband. So I knew it wasn't a Rick and Lacey angle, and I knew they wouldn't keep on with the angle, because what's the point? Because Charlotte can't lay her hands on Lacey now, so it wouldn't make sense. But anyway, getting away from that and back to Edge. The thing is, what would be good is, even though Edge is loved as it is, if he was to end the reign of Roman Reigns, he would be loved even more and would be cheered even more. And the thing is, the WrestleMania 37 is the first WWE event with fans for just over a year. So with there being fans, I just think it's too... Unless they do, as you said, they have him turn face. They turn Roman face during the match, or the fans just start cheering him because it is such a good match. I think it just wouldn't make sense, seeing as it's the first event with fans for just over a year, for Roman to win. It's too good of an opportunity to have Roman win. That's just my opinion. No, but they did an angle. I think you were asleep by that time, but Ric Flair said to Charlotte he never said he was the dad. Well, no, I know, I didn't see that part, because obviously I ended the stream early because I kept falling asleep. But I did see it the next day. I didn't watch the video of it, but I did see the fact that they'd done an angle saying that Ric Flair wasn't the dad, and they stopped with the angle, and it looks like Charlotte and her dad are back on the same page, which is disappointing really, because I was really enjoying that story. It made Raw even more interesting. It was interesting enough anyway, obviously, with the Alexa Fiend Randy storyline, but with the Rick and Charlotte storyline, it just made it even more interesting, in my opinion. So this has been an okay match so far. Nothing major has happened yet, just a bit of back and forth punches, but now Scott Hall has properly taken control. Kevin Nash being by at ringside, helps Scott Hall just by being there, never mind doing anything. Oh, they're not on the same page. She's effectively told him to leave her alone. No, I know that, but at least it's over anyway. I don't think Rick's going to be here on Raw and SmackDown on Raw weekly from now on. I think that's it now, for the time being. The Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss feud, it is very strange. It'll pay off. The Fiend will return at some point soon, and the Randy Orton and the Fiend will have some sort of really strange match at WrestleMania, where I think the Fiend will win, and it will put the feud to bed then. A 6'5" wrestler wanted to get his own back on a petite female is a bit weird. No, it's not about that though, is it? The only reason they're doing this at the moment is because they didn't want to bring the Fiend back straight away, because it would effectively mean that that nothing can defeat the Fiend, not even fire. So they wanted to make it so that it looks like at least fire can put away the Fiend for a bit. So, but they wanted to keep the angle alive. So the only other way they could do it would be to have Alexa and Randy kind of go into this feud, even though obviously they're never going to have a match or anything like that. Alexa is just there so that the feud can keep going.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You know what I mean? So... Unless Wyatt is legit injured and they're buying him time. Possibly, but I don't think he is legit injured. I think they just want... I think they're just selling it, aren't they? Because obviously the Fiend got burnt alive, so they're selling that. They're not just going to have the Fiend return like that, because then it just makes the fact that he got burnt alive just pointless. But they're biding the time. They're building it up, and when the Fiend returns in his new form, because it's got to be a new form, it can't be just the same Fiend. It'll be totally worth it. He'll probably return after Fastlane, or maybe at Fastlane, so that they can build up the match for WrestleMania. I think they didn't want Randy and the Fiend to face off against each other before WrestleMania again. So what they've done is they've just said, you know what, we're not going to have the Fiend return until they can build up the match for WrestleMania, and in the meantime they're just going to have Alexa keep the feud going. You know what I mean? Stunner. 1, 2. Oh, but Kevin Nash just attacked the ref. Kevin Nash. Attack the ref, and now he's attacking Stone Cold, and now has told Scott Hall to get a weapon. Stone Cold comes back into it though with the stunners. Maybe Orton will confront Bliss at Fastlane and challenge Wyatt at WrestleMania. Wyatt accepts, then he only appears for the first time. Maybe. You know what? That would be a big thing to do. You know, have Wyatt return in his new form at WrestleMania. That would be a huge thing to happen at WrestleMania, especially with there being fans as well. You know what? I would love that, actually. Love that to happen. As much as I want the Fiend to return soon, I think that's a really good idea. Where Bliss and some other disciples perform a resurrection ceremony. Yes. I'm liking this. It's a good match anyway. Scott Hall, Stone Cold. Stone Cold hit the stunner again, pinned Scott Hall. Kevin Nash then knocked the referee that came to replace the other referee, so 2 referees are now down. Kevin Nash is being ejected. I mean, now Undertaker is gone, they need someone with a creepy persona and an entrance, and Wyatt is the only person who can do that. Heck, why not even bring back Undertaker to accompany Wyatt? Possibly. I mean, Undertaker could come back at WrestleMania in some capacity. But he doesn't have to be in a match. He could come back in some capacity, you know, just to be at WrestleMania. One, 2. Oh, Stone Cold kicks out. Stunner. 1, 2, 3. Stone Cold wins. What a match that was. Now Stone Cold celebrates with a few cold beers. I said how Undertaker had the Druid monks come out and singing their chants and holding torches. Maybe Bliss and Taker perform some kind of dark ceremony to resurrect the Fiend. Possibly could happen. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. Whatsoever. So we're nearly at the 2-hour mark. I'm guessing the last 2 matches will be quite long matches, so I'm thinking we may have 2 more matches, and then we have the co-main events starting. Taker also didn't get a chance to say goodbye in front of fans, so it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Exactly, yeah. I think he needs to come back at WrestleMania. I think that's how they could use him this year. He can come back where there'll be fans, and he can say his proper goodbye, yeah. But there's no point bringing Wyatt back now until WrestleMania if they want to. Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, thinking about it, as much as I want him to return, I think you're right, Bram. I think he needs to return at WrestleMania. They're just showing the WrestleMania access. I'd love to go to WrestleMania one year. Honest to God, it would be my dream to do that. But like they did with Triple H and Sting confronting each other at Fastlane, Orton might confront Bliss at Fastlane to challenge Fiend, and maybe Bliss does something weird like trying to communicate with a dead Fiend to get an answer. Yeah, that would work. I mean, if they want to build up interest, if they want to build up what was I gonna say? If they want to build up some interest to Fastlane, because Fastlane is probably one of the worst pay-per-views of the year because it's such a predictable main event. So it's such a predictable pay-per-view, as in like matches and stuff like that. If they want to build up some interest for Fastlane, they need to like say, like maybe the final Raw before Fastlane. They should say like they should say, Randy Orton should say, Bliss, I'm officially going to confront you at Fastlane. Because I have a special challenge. Something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, they showed Bliss sitting in a satanic symbol, so I think that's the angle they're going for now. Yeah. But then Orton vs. Fiend could easily have been a main event match, especially to build the anticipation. Well, yeah. Right, so we've got the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, the APA, and Billy and Chuck. Well, that's what match we've got next. But I think it's now a foregone conclusion Fiend is going to win. Well, yeah. There we go. I mean, it might be a foregone conclusion that the Fiend is going to win, but it still could be a really good match, especially with the. I think it could still be really creepy and a mind fuck of a match because they're both very very creepy and disturbing characters, to be honest. And then he will be the next WWE Universal Champ. Yes, he could be. This will be a good match. So, where does Goldberg figure in all of this? I don't know. I don't think Goldberg needs to be in a championship match. He could just be in a normal match. But I don't know who against. But I do definitely think he's going to be at WrestleMania. He's too big of a star, really, to keep out of WrestleMania. Do you ever see Goldberg winning the WWE title? I do, purely because he's never won it before, and as a Goldberg fan, I'm biased, but I could see him as a. Yeah, he will win it at some point. I think maybe some point this year, just as a transition champion, as you say. Goldberg versus Edge could work. Yeah, Spear versus Spear. Edge wins the championship at WrestleMania. Then he holds it for a while, which he will do. He then defends it at SummerSlam. Spear versus Spear again. Goldberg versus Edge. WWE do love a good gimmick match. Spear versus Spear is perfect. Then Roman wins it off Goldberg. Yeah, that could work as well. Yeah, another Spear versus Spear match, because they were supposed to face, weren't they? Goldberg and Roman, and they never did. So, I think they have to face at some point, seeing as they were supposed to. Looks so good to me. I remember Chuck and Billy, how they used to build them as like gay. It made me laugh. Match starts. And I think it's where they have to tag in, yeah, it is. No, actually, hang on. Who would Edge be beating for the WWE title? Does that mean Roman would switch to Raw by then? Oh, no, I was thinking Universal title, but WWE title, Edge could. If, let's say, he loses to Roman, he comes back to Raw. Let's say Drew's champion. Let's say he wants a match against Drew. He could. Maybe at SummerSlam. Maybe a match before SummerSlam. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. It all depends on if he wins. He might do. You can't say he won't ever do that again. He might do. You know what I mean? But he's not going to win both. But if he loses at WrestleMania to Roman, which is a big possibility, he could come back to Raw and then go for the WWE title. Because it would make sense, because he wants to be a main champion again. He wants to win a championship, because he never lost his championship before he had to retire. He relinquished it. But the thing that makes sense with him winning the Universal Championship is a lot of people, and there's a lot of rumours going around, that if Edge wins the Universal Championship, he's going to bring back the big gold belt, because that's a championship he never lost. You can do that with the Universal Championship, because the Universal Championship is a load of shit, really, isn't it? But you can't get rid of the WWE Championship, because it's the most prestigious championship in WWE. Plus, you have to have a championship that's named after the company. You can't not have that. So it makes sense for Edge to win the Universal Championship and bring back the big gold belt, and be on the brand that he was on for most of his career. It just makes sense. But if he doesn't win it and wants to go after WWE Championship, I can see that happening. And then maybe if Edge wins it between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, he has a match against Goldberg at SummerSlam for the championship. It could happen. But Bradshaw and Billy in at the moment. 2. And Billy kicks out. But also the big gold belt was a big deal for Goldberg too. Goldberg held the belt in WCW and WWE. So this goes back to Edge versus Goldberg. If Edge wins the championship at WrestleMania, comes out the next week on SmackDown, says I'm bringing back the big gold belt, brings back the big gold belt, he could hold it until SummerSlam, face Goldberg, Goldberg perhaps wins. It could work. So you think they will scrap the Universal title and bring back the big gold belt? I think just for a little while, just while Edge is champion, because it's the championship that Edge never lost. But as I said, you couldn't do that with the WWE Championship. So it makes a lot of sense Edge winning at WrestleMania in that aspect. Plus, he's wrestling. APA are out. For Edge to win at WrestleMania for that reason, and not just that, he's wrestling for the championship on the same day. 10 years later, the very same day that he had to retire, he's fighting for the championship. All the stars are just aligning. Surely he's got to win at WrestleMania. Surely he can't lose. It would piss fans off far too much. But then at the same time, Roman Reigns has been built up as this, massively dominating champion. Would he lose to somebody like Edge? I don't know. So APA have been eliminated, so it's the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Billy and Chuck still in this match. I mean, at some point, we need to see the W title, Universal title, and NXT title all online in one match to be the undisputed champ. I agree. I think that could be a big thing. Yeah, I think that maybe for WrestleMania 40 that could be... Yes. Because WrestleMania 40 needs to be a big WrestleMania. I mean, 40 years. I mean, 30 years. WrestleMania 30, was a massive event. So, WrestleMania... Look how pale Jeff looks. Jeff looks so pale here. But he looks like he looks now. He's not aged, in my opinion. Bubba Bomb. WrestleMania 20 had the Dead Man gimmick return, exactly. Exactly, so big things happened at 2030, so something big has to happen at WrestleMania 40, an undisputed, all titles on the line for the undisputed title at WrestleMania 40 in the main event. 10 had Bret versus Owen Hart, brother versus brother, exactly, so big things have happened at 10, 20 and 30, something big has to happen at 40. And of course, something big happened at WrestleMania 25 as well. The first Undertaker HBK match at WrestleMania, which was, in my opinion, the better of the two. As in match wise, storyline wise, WrestleMania 26 obviously was better. But Bubba and Jeff are in the ring at the moment. Jeff Hardy getting back into it. Devon tags in. Oh, what a clothesline from Devon, and Jeff goes down. But to be honest, I did really want to see the Edge win the title against Orton at Mania, as that's who his greatest rival is. Yeah, but do we really want to see another Orton Edge match, singles match? No, not really. Edge has only ever faced Orton in a singles match since he came back. We want to see something new at WrestleMania. WrestleMania's got big matches, and that match, just as big as it would be, we've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen it 3 times since Edge's return. As I said, the only match he's had single-wise has been against Randy Orton. But yeah, the next AEW pay-per-view is 7th of March, by the way. Oh yeah, sorry, I asked you that ages ago. Thank you for letting me know. 7th of March, you say. I will most likely go live for that. I would like to see Sting in action. Bubba just got pushed over the top rope by Matt. Is Jeff going to be able to tag out? You know what? Some classic WCW pay-per-views I'd like to see. The ones where Sting has his matches when he's in his dark persona, not the early Sting, like the one where he's in his black and white, you know, that kind of era. I'd love to see some pay-per-views with him there, because I reckon his matches must be amazing, because his match against Triple H was amazing at WrestleMania, and that was when he was well past his prime in his 50s, so... Oh, what a counter from Jeff Hardy. So basically everything from Starrcade 1997 onwards. Well, yeah. But some of the old style Sting matches were classic. Yeah, I will watch them, but I really want to see them first. Apparently Starrcade 1997 was a really good pay-per-view, so I might start with that. When I start on the WCW stuff, I might start with that. You need to see the one where Robocop, yes, Robocop comes to save Sting. Which one's that? Because I will watch that. Oh, Bubba just kicks out there. Twist of Fate. Swanton. 1, 2, 3. The Dudley Boys are out. It's down to Chuck and Billy and the Hardy Boys. Oh, Chuck is in. Oh, what a super kick. That, I think it was called Capital Punishment. Right, okay. I'll have a look at that. Here comes Billy. So basically, the 4 horsemen lock Sting in a cage. Robocop walks out to the cage at like snail space and then scares everyone with his superhuman strength by breaking the cage. It was obviously plastic. Jim Ross did the commentary that. Oh, Jim Ross did the commentary. I didn't realise he'd ever been in WCW. I thought he was always in WWE or WWF. Obviously, until he went to AEW. I think Sting thanked Robocop in his Hall of Fame speech too. I think I remember him mentioning Robocop, yeah. Twist of Fate. Swanton. Paymaster. Oh yeah, JR and Paul Heyman all worked in WCW. I know Paul Heyman did, but I didn't know Jim Ross had. Billy and Chuck retain. As did Ted Long and Triple H and Mick Foley and Steve Austin, AJ Styles. No, the Undertaker never went to WCW. That's one thing that a lot of people know about the Undertaker. He always stayed loyal to WWE, unless it was in his very very early days before he even came to WWE. But once he was in WWE, he never left. So when was it he was in WCW? Was it before he came to WWE in the first place? Because I know he never left WWE after he joined. I know AJ Styles in WCW. He was known as... Oh, yes, I remember. This was before he was... This was even before he was in WWE, so... Yeah, I know now, yeah. Because I know he never left WWE to go to WCW. He was one of the only loyal people that stayed. So we've got just an hour left of this pay-per-view. So I think we've probably got one more match and then we've got the 2 main events. That's what I think anyway. I know AJ Styles in WCW. I remember seeing some clips of some of his old matches, and he looked quite impressive in WCW. Um, and Austin, AJ, and Triple H never left WWE for WCW. They went the other way. Yeah. And Christian's the new hardcore champion. Oh, I thought the Rock Hulk Hogan was the main event. I'm very confused. I thought the Rock Hulk Hogan was the main event. Why would they not have this as the main event? Surely Chris Jericho and Triple H's match. They suffered for it, I bet. Regal went from WCW to WWE. Sting and Taker did face each other only once, but in a house show that was never recorded. Bulldog worked in WCW too. Yes, it's next. Yeah, we've got that coming on next. Yeah, but I thought it was the main event. Like, obviously, Chris Jericho and Triple H's match must have suffered for having to follow this match. Okay, I will put it on. Oh, I thought you already had it on. This is what I want Edge versus Roman to be like. It's not going to be like this though, because Hogan kind of was already loved anyway because it's Hogan, but Roman is really despised, so I don't see it being like that. At this point, Hogan did come out to Jimi Hendrix like he used to. See, the thing is, Hulk Hogan's being cheered even before the match starts, so, but Roman won't be. Oh dear. See, Hogan already getting massive cheers for the match even started. It won't be like that at WrestleMania 37 with Roman Reigns. It just won't be. Roman Reigns is too despised. Yes, but don't forget it was the first time Hogan was wrestling a singles match in WWE for about 8 years. Well, this is true. This is why it won't be like it with Roman. Because he's been built up as this really despised heel. Unless he just suddenly changes at WrestleMania and becomes really respectful, he's not going to get cheered. I know this crowd takes this match takes a little bit of time to start because the crowd just are mental. You know what match I'd really like to see? The Rock versus AJ Styles. I think that would be a good match. Headlock by Hogan. Rock trying to fight it. Hogan dominating so far. Oh. March 17th, 2012. Gosh, 19. Yes, exactly, yeah. The Rock taking over, doing his pattern punches. Hogan to the outside. An entire generation gone by that's not seen this. But yeah. So we've just got about an hour left of this pay-per-view. Oh, what a clothesline. Hulk Hogan's down. The Rock wants the rock bottom. Rock going for the rock bottom? No. Hulk Hogan gets out of it. Hogan was taking over, dominating yet again. Rock taking down Hogan with the punches. Oh, yeah. The abdominal stretch to the Rock. And the punches to the midsection. Roll up 1, 2. The Rock kicks out. Hogan biting the Rock. Both. The chops. Well, the Rock, Irish which into the corner. 60 elbow out to Hulk Hogan. Oh, what a move. That looked like a sort of choke slam kind of thing there. Choking the Rock. Choking Rock again. Oh, Rock goes over the top rope to the outside. Face first into the steel steps goes to Rock. And now dropped over the barricade as well. And Hulk Hogan's dominated most of this match. I mean, The Rock has tried to get back into it, but every time he tries, Hulk Hogan just gets back into it. Rock getting back into it. Slamming the head into the announce table. Rock was going to use the chair, but it's not allowed, and the referee took the chair off the Rock. And back into the ring they go. Oh, what a punch from the Rock, and another one. Ref gets taken out by the Rock by accident. Rock with the spine buster. Sharpshooter to Hulk Hogan will Hulk tap. Even if he did, there's no ref. Hulk Hogan's tapping, but the referee's down. Hulk Hogan with a low blow. Rock bottom from Hulk Hogan. The Rock kicks out. The Rock picks the belt up. Is he going to hit Hulk Hogan with it? Hulk Hogan's just been hitting him with it. Yes, he does. Gets revenge. Oh. Oh. Rock going mad with this belt. The Rock hits the rock bottom. The ref is just getting up now. 1, 2. Oh, Hulk Hogan kicks out though. People always say in hindsight this match should have been. I think it should have been, to be honest, because there's not any match that could have followed it, really, that would have been as good. That's why I think Triple H and Chris Jericho would have suffered massively. Because plus the crowd would have tired themselves out cheering in this match as well. The leg drop. 1, 2. Oh, the Rock kicks out. It's a shame because the Triple H versus Jericho match wasn't actually bad, and I think I'm right in saying Jericho never main evented a WrestleMania ever again, and I got negatively branded by it. Yeah, it is a shame. Chris Jericho should have main evented more WrestleManias, definitely. Another big boot. Is it going to be another leg drop? Oh no, the Rock moved out of the way. Yes, as you said, the crowd goes so drained emotionally, I think they didn't pay attention to the main event. Exactly. The rock bottom again. Rock bottom again. Now going for the people's elbow. The people's elbow. 1, 2, 3, it's over. What a match. I mean, we debated a lot about Jericho's WWE legacy. He's easily one of the all-time greats and will no doubt be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame if he ever does return, even if he only returned for an induction. But Jericho and Rep Shret was pushed so quickly when he came over from WWE, they didn't sustain that. It's very true. So I've got to think there's another match and then the main event, because we've still got just under an hour left of this pay-per-view, and there's no way the main event is going to last that long. But what a match that was. There's only one more match, I think. Surely it can't be an hour long, though, the main event. We've not had a women's match on this WrestleMania. I was going to say, there's got to be a women's match. NWO turning on Hulk Hogan. The Rock's back. I have to be honest, it's just put me to look back on Hogan now in the same light I did when I was younger and before the whole racing thing, and I know a lot of fans feels, yeah, I mean, a lot of the fans do feel the same way, and I can't honestly blame them. I mean, he has sincerely apologised for everything he said since, but I know an apology is not good enough for some people, and even some like legends in the WWE can't forgive him for what he said and stuff like that, and that's completely respectable. I mean, I completely understand. I mean, a lot of people have forgiven him, and quite clearly Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon's forgiven him because he's back in the good graces of the WWE. But I can understand some people who can't forgive him. People say it's okay, apologise and WWE welcome back, but ultimately many of the African American stars in WWE do. And I completely understand. I can completely understand why they didn't accept the apology, as I said. I can completely respect it. It's a shame because I'd be lying if I say I wasn't a Hulkamaniac and I still have the merchandise. It is a shame, but well, there's no but. I don't even know why I said but it is a shame, and I completely respect people that can't forgive him. Honestly, I really do. Well, yeah. I think that was one of the main reasons, but I think they did forgive him. Well, especially Vince did anyway. But so we've got a women's match coming up next, and then the main event. Say that his apology was like, "I'm sorry," but in that somehow tried to excuse his behaviour because of his upbringing, etc. It still shocks me to this day As I said, I idolised Hogan. Even with this match back in the day, I wanted Hogan to win. I was ecstatic when Hogan won the Undisputed title and went to TNA in Manchester just to see him live. Was meant to meet him, but he got stuck in traffic apparently, so I met Sting and Gail Kim instead. No, I get it. I completely get it. You know, somebody that you idolised for so long for them to turn out to be a racist is pretty sad. So it's Jazz versus who for the Women's Championship? Lita. Trish, Lita, and Jazz. Only Hogan knows deep down in his heart if he truly is sorry or if it was just said it to cover his own ass. But yes, I remember many of the black superstars, which included The New Day, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Mark Henry, amongst others, released a statement saying they didn't feel Hogan's apology was sincere, but accepted welcoming him back into WWE. So for me, that's also sad. Well, yeah. Let me just change this. There we go. Match changed. 1, 2. Lita kicks out. One, two. Oh. Jazz kicked out at 2. Crossbody from the top rope to Trish, but Trish rolls it through. Oh, gets the 2. One, 2. Jazz stops the count. Oh. What a fisherman suplex. 1, 2. Leader stops the count. One, 2. Leader stops the count. Twist of fate to Jazz. Oh, kick out. Got collided heads. Oh, Jazz kicks out. Oh, what a clothesline. Oh, Jazz goes flying to the outside. Do you think someone like me only worthy if I buy merchandise, not as a human being? I've sadly had many friendships end over issues connected to racism, e.g. people eventually take over time revealing their true feelings, etc. And even if it's not directed towards me, so it makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, it is what it is. Hogan has apologised, we accepted it, TNA and AEW didn't. That's Jazz retains. That's up to them. Some superstars did, others didn't. That's their choice. I more respect that. We just have to move on. History will judge him. But for me, I don't deny he was my idol, but I don't view him as that anymore. End of my rant. Fair enough. But yeah, Jazz retained, so that's it for that match. And the main event comes up next, and we've got just over half an hour left. Christian. Come on. 2, 3, Maven becomes the new hardcore champion. Here's a question for you, Tom. I think we discussed it before, but what do you think of Benoit? Okay, yeah, we're getting the main event next. Well, this is a difficult topic to kind of talk about, but I'll talk about it in a second. Let me just sort this. There you go. Right, so what do I think of Benoit? Oh, hang on. Catherine Holt, thank you for the follow. For me, with respect to Benoit, I can never celebrate him or enjoy his matches anymore knowing what he did. Some fans are so adamant he was innocent and that he will be in the Hall of Fame one day, but I am 200% certain he will never be in any Hall of Fame. Whatever good he did in wrestling has been erased, as Stone Cold put it, in one night of incomprehensible evil. Right, well, this is what I think of Benoit. His in-ring ability and how good he was should be celebrated. But him as a person, I understand why people want to celebrate him because of what he did. But what you have to remember is he didn't know what he was doing. If you listen to what was said afterwards, and what the doctor said about his brain was so fucked that he had the brain of like an 80-odd-year-old with severe dementia. So I work with dementia patients on a daily basis. And I know that they are nothing like what they used to be. A lot of them can get very aggressive. In some cases, very aggressive, to the point of where they want to do a lot of damage to you. So because I work with dementia patients and because I see firsthand what dementia can do to people, I can't say that Benoit was 100% at fault for what he did. In fact, I don't think he was at fault that much. I blame the WWE a lot for what he did because they gave him this move where he dived off the top rope and, did a diving headbutt, literally landing head first, which is going to do anybody's brain a lot of damage. And it baffles me why they still allow superstars today to use that move. But anyway, that's getting off top. Well, not off topic, but I'm kind of going off on a tangent there. But what I would say is that I think he should be celebrated for his in-ring ability. I understand why people wouldn't want to celebrate him as a person, but I don't blame him in the slightest for what he did because he had the brain of an 80-year-old with severe dementia. He didn't know what he was doing whatsoever. If he knew what he was doing and he was the Benoit who we all knew and loved, he wouldn't have done that. If you listen to what a lot of people said about Benoit on his tribute show before they actually found out what he did, or just in general, you can understand how much of a nice guy he was outside of the ring. He played this character on screen as this person who had literally no feelings or anything like that. But off screen, he was completely different. He was this softy who helped people and was just generally one of the nicest guys in the locker room. But then he does this, it just doesn't make sense. And then the doctors say he had the brain of an 80-year-old with severe dementia. Yeah. Let me just... No, of course, I can understand. Sadly, my dad has early stage dementia, but there is a but here. Benoit was still medically competent and able to carry out his everyday activities, etc. He wasn't declared medically or mentally unfit and legally was able to carry out his duties as a competent adult. But if he had no control over his actions, he would have called for help straight away, surely. He allegedly killed them days afterwards, but even years beforehand he had a history of domestic violence towards his first and second wife. Yes, but when you have severe dementia, and this is just my experience of working with dementia, and I've been working with dementia for 10 years, you don't know what you're doing, and yeah, he might have had the bodies in the house for maybe a couple of days, but the way his mind was working at that point, he probably forgot what he'd done. And then maybe he had, when he committed suicide, maybe that was the day he realised what he'd done and couldn't live with himself and committed suicide. That's how I understand it anyway. But when you say even years beforehand he had a history of domestic violence towards his first and second wife, I knew nothing about that. But there's domestic violence and then there's killing your wife and son. Now he may have had a history of domestic violence, but domestic violence can result in just a slight punch all the way up to killing somebody. So we don't know what he actually did to his first and second wife. But what I would say is that I cannot fully blame Benoit for what he did. Yes, he was still medically and mentally competent, apparently. But that's because he wasn't really seen by a doctor to kind of diagnose him with anything. The only reason the doctors found out what his brain was like is because they did a post-mortem afterwards of his, after he died, and found out how badly his brain was. So, yeah, I'm not saying it's not bad. Any kind of domestic violence is bad, but what I'm saying is we don't know what kind of domestic violence it was. It could have been a one-off thing. We don't know what kind it was. Even so, it's still bad. But there's domestic violence and then there's killing somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot, knowing that how bad Benoit's brain was, I cannot say that Benoit was in full control after what he did. You know what I mean? I think, and this is just my opinion, he killed his wife and his son, probably forgot what he did, and then when he realised what he'd done a couple of days later, killed himself because he couldn't live with what he'd done. That's just what as a person, that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, knowing what his brain was like when they scanned it after he died, I cannot, in good faith, say that he was 100% responsible for what he did. I can't. Like, and if anybody can, they don't know what dementia is. You know what I mean? So, that's just my opinion. You need to see the documentary. It's quite documented in detail for the violence. I've never seen the documentary, and I will watch it. But again, as I said, it doesn't change the fact what the doctors found after he died, and I cannot say, as I say, in good faith that he was 100% responsible for what he did. But, some people might disagree with that. Some people might agree. If you haven't seen it, please do at some point. I will watch it at some point. I will. May even do a watch along of it. Chris Jericho just got chucked off the top rope by Triple H and he goes into the front row of the fans. But even if he had been arrested and not committed suicide and declared mentally unfit, he would have simply been sectioned. Well, exactly, yeah, he would have. But my what I think, and nobody knows what really happened apart from Chris Benoit himself, who can obviously not tell us because he's dead. But I think he killed his wife and son, forgot that he'd done it, carried on like nothing had happened. And then when he realised what he'd done, when he realised what he had done, he could see things clearly, because sometimes dementia patients can even see things clearly for a set period of time. He then committed suicide because he couldn't live with what he'd done. That's just what I think happened. But obviously, I've never seen the documentary, so I don't know the ins and outs. But once I've watched the documentary, I may have a different opinion. So if it's not a case of if you murder someone on the basis of his administration, no, they shouldn't set you free. I'm not saying that, but even if let's say he'd been arrested and he hadn't committed suicide, as you said, he would have been in a mental facility for the rest of his life, unless he could prove otherwise that he was suitable to go back out into. Yeah, the history of steroid abuse would not have helped him either. Like, the steroid abuse can really affect your brain as well, but the what has been really named as the sole purpose for him having a real bad a real his brain being as bad as it was that diving headbutt move. Oh, Triple H going for the figure four. Of course, because of all this, WWE developed well exactly. People forget wrestling was a shit. It was before all this shit happened. They weren't looked after well at all. Like, literally, the superstars were put in harm's way for money. Really, you know what I mean? They really didn't care what they were doing to their superstars as long as they made money from it, and that's the thing. I mean, look at how many stars committed suicide because of abuse of drugs, because of what the WWE did to them. I mean, it's ridiculous. So many superstars committed suicide because of there was no performance centre and no real attention to detail in terms of athlete welfare. Exactly. And we've got just under 20 minutes left of this pay-per-view. And Chris Jericho's taking over, attacking the injured knee of Triple H. And as we debated yesterday, the money in wrestling compared to other professional sports or even most professional jobs at the top end, like medicine, the pay doesn't reflect the hard work they put their body through. Exactly. If anything, the COVID restriction has given the athletes the best break in their schedules. Yeah, this is true. I mean, the amount of days they have to work and what they have to do. Their pay doesn't reflect it. I mean, it's very, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say it's similar, but what I would say is, you could say the same for nurses or carers like myself, that what we have to go through mentally and sometimes physically if we get attacked by a resident, our pay doesn't reflect that. We get minimum wage. You know what I mean? And then the hard work nurses have to do, their pay doesn't reflect it either. Oh, yeah. I mean, a doctor will have a 40 to 50-year career, and lawyers, they can do this over a long period. For wrestlers, no, I know that, but what my point is, I'm not talking about doctors, because doctors get paid pretty well, but my point is, the work that we do as carers, or the work that nurses do, how hard the nurses have to work, and how mentally and physically draining the jobs can be, we deserve to be paid a lot more. Quite simple. And I'm not even going to debate that. That's just the way it is. That's why wrestlers do loads of these Comic-Con events. They simply don't make the big money we think they make. Well, some of them don't. Oh, what a clothesline from Triple H. 1, 2, Chris Jericho kicks out. Oh, that's Pine Buster. 1, 2. Oh, Triple H kicks out. Triple H goes flying to the outside, grabbing his legs. So you work as a carer. I do. I don't know who that is typing as me. I'm guessing it's you, Brahma, but... Triple H going for the pedigree on the table. Oh no. Triple H kicks out. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Tom, happy birthday. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. You're at the tail end of this stream, we're very near the end of it. But thank you. Triple H is in the water. Jericho's going to get to the rope. No worries, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Thank you, Kelly, much appreciated. Hope you have a lovely day considering jumping back off now. Take care and see you on Joe Wrestler tomorrow Eve for your birthday flight. Okay, see you tomorrow, Kelly. Thank you for coming on and just saying happy birthday. Much appreciated. And I will be on the stream tomorrow. Jericho just hit Triple H with a chair. Is it over? 1, 2. Oh, Triple H kicks out. Jericho going for the pedigree. Pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins and becomes a new champion. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for that WrestleMania 18 watch along. Honestly, I've really enjoyed it. And as I say, coming up Thursday, probably start around about the same time as I did today, will be my next stream, and I'll be doing a WrestleMania 17 watch along because it was the other choice for today, and I think it will be a good one to do a watch along of. So I hope you can all join me for that one. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to everybody that is. Thank you to everybody that has said happy birthday. Thank you everybody that's been that's joined me for this birthday stream. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this stream. This kind of stream will become a regular occurrence now. 100%. I've really enjoyed it. And I'll see you for... Thank you, Brahma. I'll see you for the next one on Thursday, WrestleMania 17 watch along. Join me then. Good morning. Join me then for the stream. I'll probably start around about the same time. We'll do that, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do next after that. I'll probably do one of the very early pay-per-views. I might even do SummerSlam, the one that was in England. I think that was 1992, I believe. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me, and I will see you for Thursday. I will see you on Thursday for the next one. Bye everyone.